Abigail always sings the song Meadowlands. Now that song is from when Sofia Town was forcefully removed from Sofia Town to Meadowlands. So we have forced removal where you found your stuff being taken out by the police onto the big trucks off to Meadowlands. It was terrible.
This song was written in the late 60s in South Africa when people were forcefully removed from Sofia Town to Meadowlands. They didn't want to go there, but they had to because it was the law. People were moved from one corner to the other, whether they wanted, they liked it, or they didn't. So they were moved from Sofia Town, but typical of South Africans, we sing and dance. Even if we are sad, we still sing and dance. And everybody just boogied on those big trucks with their furnitures and everything on the trucks. They just sang and said, we are not going anywhere. We're staying here. But they were singing and dancing and getting down, down, down. Oh, my time is getting bad again tonight. The spirits will be dancing in the night. Mama, time is getting and the spirits will be.
Sofia Town was the cream of Johannesburg.
It's one of the places that shaped the lives of who the people of the 50s were. Nelson Mandela and them, they all come from that time.
Sofia Town, they wanted it for white people, and we had to move from there because we were very near white people in West Dean, they used to call it. And so that was a time when things were real bad, you know. The people can be beaten up, people they will come in your house and kick your doors and wake you up in the morning. They want passes and all that, making other people's lives very miserable.
Imagine your own community. Just picture your own community. Here's your community, vibrant. You've got Indians and coloreds and some whites. It's a mixture of just a vibrant town. And the government decided one day, well, we want that. And just came and bulldozed it.
Thank you.
Sometimes pain and struggle is like education. It teaches you to survive.
me being back home here, I've been inspired because I could see that, how determined these people. And life is hard. I look at my cousins, Gabi, we grew up together, but, it breaks my heart because I see she's aged like 10 years. Huh? Gabi, toch. This is my Gabi.
Oh, I know that I owe what I am today to that dear little lady. So old and gray, to that wonderfully shine. Mama, 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 mama.
Musicians had it even tougher because now we're banned from singing at city halls, at nightclubs in town. We're banned.
We used to get dressed in our most expensive dresses and use the kitchen doors to get into some posh clubs. We used to entertain them, but going through the back doors.
Can you imagine? You are singing for people, enjoying yourself, and they are enjoying your music, but it's the wrong thing. How can that happen? How possible can that be? But it was during those years.
Some of the musicians went into exile because now things were getting, worse. And we had this 1976 riots where the government wanted the kids to study Afrikaans and Afrikaans to be the main language. And the kids said, no way. The parents tried to stop the kids. They said, no way. We got our freedom because of the youth.
Okay, this is Orlando West.
I think my generation and your generation has suffered. And that's one thing that we never recognize what apartheid did, because apartheid killed a time where Sister Dorothy could not just be able to pass on the baton.
I was away for 33 years. People like Tandy kept the fire burning in this town.
But she has remained Sis Tandy for everyone in the communities, the grandmothers, the young mothers who she raised, and their children and their grandchildren.
And when I see people, they need, I'm there to help, because in a way I am also from hand to mouth, but I've always been strong and I like to give,
Bonjour. I speak French. But my French is that South African French.
We are riding on the shoulders of survivors, people who chose that they're not going to drop down they're going to hold on and keep holding that lamp.
No, I'm not sorry that I didn't leave the country. No, I had kids to look after. I just given birth to the little one, and I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Now is the time. God has got, he had made it a point that at a certain age, I'll be having my freedom. I'll be moving around as much as I wanted to. Not that time, because I was an orphan. I grew up being an orphan. I had no parents, and I struggled in my childhood, and I couldn't leave my kids. I was born alone, and I had 3 kids. I thought, now I made these 3 kids my brothers and sisters.
Because I had the child in exile with one of them Konto guys who got killed over in exile. And like, I don't believe in abortion, so my daughter has got these 4 kids whom I'm looking after, and I brought them up. Bandiloile, bandiloile, bandiloile. Where are you going to?
I've had a wonderful time with my children, and thank God that we have this love amongst ourselves. That's why I gave Lorraine the freedom, because her father passed away, and she's had her freedom from me to find herself out. What is it that she wants? Because I trusted her and I loved her, and I didn't know what to give her, in the exception of trusting her and giving her love.
When I left my mom, when I left my mom, it was the best thing that could have happened to me, because this umbilical cord was cut. I was able to make a name for myself, because when you grow up as a daughter of Tani Klassen, a famous singer, as Lorraine Klassen, the daughter of Tani Klassen, the daughter of Tani Klassen, and having my mom constantly there, but now when she's away from me, physically away, memories are surrounding my thoughts. So when I sing, and I shut my eyes and I'm on stage, I visualize my mom a lot. A lot of people, even my daughter said, "Mommy, you're scaring me. You're beginning to act a lot like grandma."
If she was another child, she would have cracked in that Canada. But she became more stronger, because I've also grew up just like that, having my ups and downs in life. Because when it's too sweet, it's not good. It has to have ups and downs. You hit your head on the wall and things like that. And you experience a lot of good things and bad things. It makes you more stronger. But if you've never, you'll never know what hits you.
Every time, when I look at Sister Tandy just epitomizes resistance. He epitomizes strength. He epitomizes an indomitable spirit.
We would have lost her had those scums got the chance to kill her. They were trying to destroy her. And it's people who did not understand what she was and what she is and what she aims for the community.
I even remember it was a bit windy in August. It was a bit windy, and she told these 2 guys that they must burn me. Then they followed me to the house. It's when she said, "Huck!" And that huck meant overflowing with petrol, and they lit it, and I was driving in the house. I was in terrible pain. I'll never forget that.
It was a horrible sight, and it was disgracing and very hurtful to see a wonderful lady of her caliber and known to the society for a bad thing like that to happen to her.
My mom is one of those people. She is a true example. Tragedy struck her at a prime of her womanhood. Here she was performing with Percy Sledge. She was the headliner with Eartha Kitt. She was performing with Brooke Benton. These are like big stars in America. And when they would come to South Africa, who would be the headliner? It was always my mother. And not just because of how she looked, but because she had the voice. But of course she was gorgeous, and she was an incredibly talented lady. And when somebody decided, oh, you think you're beautiful? Well, we're going to show you that. We're going to remove that from you.
I'll tell you, when I saw Thandi myself, I was shocked, completely shocked. But to me, I look at Thandi, I don't see her scratches. Do you know this is God's truth? I don't, because I see the Thandi I've known all my life.
And I look at my mom today, and it's like she has 10 times more energy now than when she had then.
And she makes a joke out of what happened to her, the accident that happened to her, which is not everybody that can do that. That's how strong she is. That's how confident she is with herself, How many people could have done that? Because she didn't feel sorry for herself. And that person, whoever did it, I'm sure, day and night, that person, if he's dead, we're in his dead or her dead life, still suffers, because you don't do that.
So I'm just one of millions of youths who's been inspired by these people, by their perseverance, by them not giving up, by being true to their talent and to their work and to their art.
And now at my age, I'm doing a lot of songwriting. And strange enough, I've signed a contract just now with Gallo, and suddenly something big is happening into my life, which is, to me, it's my last leg, because at my age,